I know one.
Who is he?
Tell us, Grandpa, who is he? Do we know him?
Well, I'll tell you, if you promise to be good.
Sure.
Please, Grandpa, we promise.
Once upon a time, long, long ago, having finished our season's work on the farm, we'd gone to the woods, as we do each year. It was a clear winter morning, and fresh fallen snow covered the trees and the ground. Nearby, the scalers were busy at their job, marking the logs and keeping a record of all the wood that was cut. I was trimming a spruce tree, and Michel Baudry was hard at work cutting down a balsam. Ah, what a man that Michel Baudry. What strength he had. No other man could fell as many trees in one day as he could. Suddenly, through the branches, there appeared a big white horse, and mounted on the horse, a small boy. He was round as a ball, not very tall, but stocky. We all wondered what he was doing at the camp, this little chap, all dressed up as a woodsman. My name is Dijon, he told the clerk, and I want a job. As cook's helper, perhaps? Ah, no, he wanted to be a woodcutter. One must be a man to be a woodcutter. But Dijon could show a thing or two, even to Michel Baudry. Come, said this Dijon, I will show you how to fell a tree. And he notched a big tree in a matter of seconds. No one had ever seen such a small boy, so handy with an axe or saw. And do you know, the men were afraid of him. This little chap appeared to have some magic gift. After that, the clerk hired him right away. Polydor, the cook, took pride in serving Dijon himself, and he brought him a giant plateful of meat and vegetables. We couldn't believe our eyes. He ate as much as 10 men. During long winter nights, the men played rough games like the spider game. also played a game called pulling the broom. But the funniest part of all was when Tigeon played Strike Down the Owl with Noël Lajoie. Tigeon took little time in knocking Noël to the floor. Was there anyone then who could beat Tigeon? Ah, there was Michel Baudry, the mighty one. Things looked bad for Tigeon. It looked as if Tigeon would be beaten. But not for long. Poor Michel. He was quite ashamed. The following Sunday, the men held a wood-cutting contest. Among the fastest was Pierre Simard, quick as a weasel. He could saw a 12-inch spruce in 8 seconds. Michel Baudry did the same thing in only 7 seconds. But when it came to Tigeon, everything went like lightning. He cut the log in 4 seconds. One day in the forest, Michel Baudry was using a horse to skid his logs. Logs, as you know, are very heavy. You need a horse to drag them over to the stockpile. But then we saw something unbelievable. Tigeon was carrying his logs, all by himself. No lumberman could remember ever seeing such a thing. Michel Baudry wanted to be the first to congratulate Tigeon, and from that day on, they became close friends. All winter long, Tigeon worked very hard. He kept going from morning till night. He worked very hard all winter, loading by himself all the logs he had cut. Also, by himself, he drove his logs to the lake, so that when spring came, they would float down the river to the mill. He took thousands and thousands to the lake, the work of at least 100 men. One day, he thought he had earned enough money, and so he decided to go on his way. He asked to be paid in dollar bills, if you please. He had earned so many dollars that he didn't know where to put them all. All the men came to say goodbye. And believe me, they were sad to see him go. He was so strong, and yet so nice, and always so friendly, so willing to work. Michel Baudry and myself, well, we had tears in our eyes to see him go alone on his big white horse, and no one knowing where. And we all hoped that someday, perhaps next winter, Tijan would return to our camp.